Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day today. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value, and today I want to go over uranium. This is technical analysis. This is technical analysis of the way that I taught myself. I didn't learn this from a book. I didn't learn this from anything. I've looked at hundreds of thousands of charts over my 18-year investing time frame. And I developed this method myself. I don't know if anyone else uses this method. What I look at is buying pressure versus selling pressure, and it's the size of the candlesticks that I'm looking at. I'm looking at very large moves up, big candlesticks, and I'm looking for the environment that the buyers are in control of the market, not the sellers being in control. The sellers in control means large down candlesticks, very small up days. It's an unbalanced buying pressure or force. I'm looking at that buying pressure and force in the chart and the size of the candlesticks. So let's look in there. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I put large breaks of where I think the sellers are in control versus where I think the buyers are in control. So let's take a look at it and I'll give you my opinion. So again, I'm looking for the ratio of buyers to sellers. I look for large candlestick up days and body sizes if the buyers are in control, and I look for small down days. The buyer's in control in that scenario. Large down days of candlestick body lengths with smaller up days means the sellers are in control. I look at the power or force exerted behind the buyers and sellers in the candlestick body lengths over time. And I know I'm going over a lot here, but maybe it'll make more sense if you look at the charts and what I mean. So what I'm looking at here is, yes, so you go in here. I might have drew this a little bit off. I missed a line here. It should be like that. There you go. So we've got this here. It's on URNM, North Shore Global Uranium. We came into this consolidation pattern. Look before here. Look at all these small little down days that are pulling back here. There's no sellers left. They're all gone. There's no sellers in here. You see this big move up, and these candlesticks are larger than the down days all through here. We are gaining buying pressure. Up, big move higher. I got the candlestick right here that I'm pointing at. Big move, big exertion of power and force. That is what starts a movement. A movement doesn't start with a weak little, You want to do that? Who the heck's going to be aroused by, There's no force there. There's no power. You got to kick it in the butt and get it moving. Big up days all through here, and then you can see a little pullback consolidation period. Large up day that I'm pointing to right at this portion. Big move up, selling pressure. Now, this point on, we're starting to see a change in the candlesticks. We've got large up days and small down days all through here, and we're starting to see larger down days all throughout here. The move is tiring out. The sellers are starting to gain an alliance against the buyers. So it means that we're going to have a pullback at some point. We consolidated up to a point right here, and then the big, large sell-off down day with good volume. Now we're in a consolidation mode, and we see large down days with small up days. Hopefully that's clear as day when you look at this chart and through this explanation. We've been pulling on back, and I haven't seen the buyers step in here and give it a thrust higher in URNM. Looking at CCJ, if you look at the left-hand side where all these red arrows are at, large up day, large up day, large up day, small down days, big up days, small down days, big up days, small down days. You see that in here? It's littered everywhere in here. Then at the blue line with this big high volume day, we had this uptrend got hit on its forehead. It got smacked hard, and we got hit, boom, small up days, down, 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 downward pressure over here. Do you notice that there's any large up days or any base to jump from? This one jumped from this base down here. It broke through a downtrend and then rallied higher. Now we're consolidating. It's going to take some time, I think. See how there's no large up days yet on CCJ? It's going to take some time. How long? I'm not exactly sure. I wait for the buyers to tell me. I don't get in the game of trying to guess. Oh, it's going to be approximately 4 days and 34 seconds. I don't necessarily know. I wait for the buyers to come and show up. NXT is exhibiting the same traits. We had this small little consolidation period. See how the big up days and small down days were exhibited in October, November down here? That's what you want to look for. You can see a pressure. What you're doing is somebody says, oh, you need to look at the future. You shouldn't look at technical analysis. Well, you can look at the past to predict the future to some extent. It's like someone who's about to start a race. What happens if you could take a real-time view of pressure being applied? What you're going to see is you're going to see your muscles start to contract. You're going to start to put force and power and pressure through your feet if you're going to start running. And what I'm telling you is when you look at these large up days and then the small leak off of sellers, that's the pressure that you're looking at. It's the imbalance of pressure and force in the stock before it moves. And you can use this either way. So down here in the lower left, you can view that the pressure was greater than in the buyers than the sellers because the size of the candlestick bodies are much larger and we traveled more distance in less time, which is your force or power. It's distance over time. We had large moves up and then a slow leak off of sellers. Your prelude to a big move right here. Then we moved. Boom. And in this move, all these red arrows are pointing at very large up days, and then the down days are all smaller until you started getting up in this area where they started to gain some size. The sellers started gaining strength. We consolidated up to a tip right here, and then it got hit on its head, and now the sellers are in control in this pullback. It's consolidating until the buyers step in and show this buying pressure or force to show us that the buyers are now in control. But right now, the sellers are in control still. Now, Fission, Uranium Corp, looks a little bit different here. We came on up here, and what I'm seeing is a prelude to what possibly could be a move higher. Now, the thing that gets me a little bit weary here is that we're seeing pressure, selling pressure, and the buyer or the sellers in control on NextGen and CCJ, which are kind of our big leaders. Fission is exhibiting a bullish pattern right here. Large hammer pattern up, a slow leak off of sellers, which are smaller than the hammer pattern. And then we put in a bullish engulfing, which means that it wants to go higher. I would be a buyer right here for me if you like Fission Uranium. Now, is Fission going to be successful with the entire sector kind of pulling back? Good question. Maybe this is going to move sideways a little bit longer until the other sectors, other companies in the sector catch up. But this one it's got the prelude to what could potentially be a move higher. DNN, this one, it's really hard to read this one because it's basically an equalization of buyers and sellers all through here. So it's just a sideways pattern. No large down days, no big up days. It's a fight. You could see a couple big up days, and you see some couple big down days. It's a fight going sideways right now. Same thing. It's a fight going sideways. But if I were to guess on this, I think we've got downside pressure, downside momentum. To me, we got a bearish engulfing. I think we're going to see more downside pressure here. UEC, downside pressure. I don't see the buyers getting into control yet. But I do think its momentum is slowing by looking at these candlesticks and the size of them. It's slowing to the downside, and I think we're going to slowly maybe get a good bottoming process going on right here. If we see buyers step in, that's great. Now, Uranium Royalty Corp, I think, is more like Fission. I think we have a change here. The left-hand side, the buyers are in control. Small down days, big up days, all through here. Then it changed. This was a pullback, bunch of kind of leak off of the sellers. So we've got this move up, leak off of sellers, big move, buying pressure force higher. That's what this arrow is signaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days coming back, big 2 days up. 2 days up, 1 neutral day, and then 4 days back. I think this is putting in a prelude to a potential move higher because of the way this is setting up. I've been buying. I bought on this day, I bought on this day, and I even leaked in a teeny bit. Now, these aren't large amounts of money, but I'm leaking in some money that I do have in right here. Global Atomic, we still have this one is a rough chart because you got this slow leak off of sellers. You have this nice big update and then the kind of the sideways movement. This was ready to shoot higher here, but the whole sector sold off. Everything's sold off in uranium these days. So we sold off, and this is really difficult to tell if the sellers or buyers are in control, but sideways movement is what I'm guessing here. Global Atomic, this is probably the hardest one to read. Goviax looks good. So between these two lines, we've got the buyers in control. Look at all these big up days all through here, small little down days. Yep. Got hit on its head, bearish engulfing, and we got a consolidation move sideways. I think right here, we're starting to end the consolidation move. We've got two big up days, small pullback. Big up day, small little pullback. This is changing its tone. The buyers are saying, look, we got to get into control here. We've got it in control. We're at the bottom right here at like 20 cents. I think this is a good entry point for me. We've got lots of support underneath here, lots of volume that's purchased all back here. I think we have a chance to move higher here in Goviax Uranium. I like this one. I like this pattern much more so than the other ones. Bannerman's looking good. We've got kind of the bigger move higher here, slow leak off of sellers in the battle going sideways. It got a little bit out of control here. We might see a little bit more downside pressure, but it's sideways to just maybe slightly down before we move higher. Forces Metals is looking pretty good, actually. We've got look at all these big updates all through here. See all these big, large candlesticks, and then you see this big bearish engulfing, the consolidation pattern sideways, two large up days on volume. Boom, boom, big pressure and force being exerted to the upside. And the seller's response was, and then we just went down and leaked out. They're done. They're tired. I like it right here at 72 cents. I like Forces Metals right here. So that one looks good. Sky Harbor, this one still has a lot of momentum in it. The buyers and sellers were, buyers are in control here. We came here, sellers in control all through here. And this is a lot of momentum. I think we're going to move sideways a little bit, and then we could see a move higher eventually. But the sellers in control here. Same with Canalaska. We got a lot of sellers in here. The only thing that looks good here, this is a difficult chart to read. I wouldn't be trading this one, but it does. The sellers won here. The buyer had massive buying pressure here. Small little leak off of sellers. This could go higher. It could. But it's a lot more difficult chart to read than the other ones. But this could go higher. It's looking a little bit better. I wouldn't be doing anything with Canalaska right now. And if you wanted to and you like the company, I mean, I would add some in. But base load's looking really good. Between here, see all these big up days? Boom. Then it got hit on its head, bearish engulfing right at the top here. Sellers are in control. Sellers are in control. Sellers are in control. The consolidation period is done. Right here, bullish engulfing, pop higher, pull back. I think we're going to move on up in base load. I like that one. Encore Energy, we got a battle, a struggle here. Nice big move higher. Sellers got in control right here. Sell, sell, sell. We got one big up day. The leak off of sellers. Where's this thing going to go? Is it going to go a little bit lower, or is this thing going to go higher? Difficult to tell on this one. I can't tell you. We've got good support down here with all these buyers and sellers. I think we're going to move sideways here. If we see small down candlesticks, it means the buyers are in control, and we're going to probably see this thing reverse. If we see very large down move with a lot of force and pressure, it's going to break through, and the sellers are still in control. This one's difficult to read. Deep yellow, this one's firming up. We got a lot of support in here. I like it right here. I like it a lot. Big move up, slow leak off of sellers. I think we're going to do okay here. Laramide. This guy was battling up here. We kind of said, rolling over. Big move higher these 2 days. Nice big move, slow leak off of sellers. I think we can move higher. I like it right here at 39 cents. And Appia Energy, this is more of a rare earth metal uranium company. Big up days, small pullback. Big up days, small pullback. Big up days. This looks fantastic. We got, looks like almost a bullish engulfing here to move to the upside potential. Looks really good. And then rare earth strategic metals, I threw this in here just because I had Appia there. See all these big up days through here? Bam, got hit. Big, large down days, consolidation period, all through these two lines here, the consolidation, big down days. It changed its tune in late May. Big up days, small pullback. Big up days, small pullback. Right here, it changed. We broke to the upside. This is game on like Donkey Kong. I like this one a lot. Long-term view between these. This is just for financial education, guys. Sellers in control, buyers in control. Sellers in control, buyers in control. Broke out. We're starting a new buyer in control movement. The buyers in control movement. So that's what I'm looking for, is like that rare earth strategic metals. When you looked at that chart, you could see where things changed. Sellers in control, buyers in control. Now we're looking to see, are the buyers in control yet? That's what I'm looking for. And in some of these companies, I think we're seeing the initial surge higher where the buyers are in control, not the sellers anymore. Fission Uranium, Uranium Royalty Corp, some of those African companies, Laramide, they're looking better. Are they in control? This is what you have to determine. Are the buyers in control or are the sellers in control? And the way I view it is through those candlestick body lengths. Big up days, small down days, you see that move in the beginning of all the up, the beginning of the up moves. I'm seeing it in some of these companies, which is good. It means that the sector's starting to turn a little bit. I just didn't think CCJ and NextGen would have been kind of the laggards of the group. It seems like some of these small guys are starting to take over and push the sector higher. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.